Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. This is the video I have been waiting to bring to you. I've been so excited to drive this Rivian R1T for the first time. At this moment, I have not even driven the truck at all. I've ridden in it for about 5 feet just to get it up here, and I'm already super stoked to get behind the wheel. So what do you say I take you on a quick tour of this thing? We're gonna do a full review later on. This is just about the driving experience, the motor calibration, the regen control, the brake pedal stuff. You know, I like to get real nerdy about all that. We're not gonna be out on public roads. This is a very controlled environment by Rivian, mostly for reservation holders to come and experience the truck. Super nice of them to invite us out here just to even get a quick taste. Of course, once we can get this truck to Colorado though, we are gonna do it. All of the testing you've been waiting for, the charging, the range, the efficiency, the full send drifting at 100 miles an hour. We're gonna see how it all does. But for today, it's a very controlled first drive taste, and I can't wait to see how it drives. Starting up front, let me take you on a quick tour of the truck. What do you guys think about the design? To me, I think this is actually the best looking new car to launch within the last 10 years. Maybe I don't know much about design. I know it's very polarizing. We have some commenters that say they don't like it, they do like it. I personally love it. I also think the charging port is such a great location because most of the chargers you either pull up to sideways or you have to nose in, especially when you're trailing or have a bike rack. So I love this front mounted charger. I think that's really sweet. It's of course CCS charger, so J1772 on the top, CCS on the bottom. You know, the full port should do about 200 kilowatt peak DC. We're going to do our charging curve testing because I'm not sure how well this car will charge. We'll have to see. It's big battery pack, 135 kilowatt hour, gross capacity about 133 usable. I believe it's 80 amp. AC charging, could be 48 amp, I'm not sure as well, but these are the things we'll play around with later on. Either way, big ass battery pack, and then Rivian recommends a 70% daily charging limit so that, you know, of course you don't fry your battery, you don't want to full charge your cars all the time, but 70% daily charging limit is lower than almost any other automaker that I've seen. But when you have 300 plus miles of range and 135 kilowatt hours to play around with, you guys know me, I actually prefer to charge my vehicles to a lower state of charge. I usually charge like my Model 3 every day, for example, to 50% just to preserve battery life. So to close the charge port, you just tap this little, come on in here so you can see this. It's just this little capacitive 3 thing. You just hit that and it opens up. That's so elegant, so nicely done, I think. The lighting up front is just gorgeous. Of course, there's a front trunk right under here. Now, unlike the F-150 battery electric, the whole front doesn't lift up, but you just have a massive storage space. So this is actually a split level storage. So we can pull this down and over, and you can have sort of a dual layer front storage. I think that's so neat, and I don't know, you could probably fit a few dogs in there, but I wouldn't recommend it because then they wouldn't be able to breathe. So yeah, don't do that. Around the side, there's just cameras everywhere. I don't know the exact number. I want to say 11, and 5 radars on the vehicle as well. So in terms of driver assistance, it's all cameraed up. Some of the cameras are for visualization of like off-roading stuff. Some of them are used for ADAS, like the one up in the windshield. We're not going to test any of the driver assistance equipment today, but we will, of course, do that later. What I really want to find out is how this vehicle drives. In terms of spec, we're on forest green. Could be launch green. I think it's forest green. What do you think, Jordan? Forest green with the ocean interior. I think my favorite pick. I'll show you that here in a second. Actually, Jordan's showing you now. But it's also on the smaller wheels with the more aggressive tires. So they're on Scorpion by Pirelli, sort of a nice all-terrain tire, 20-inch wheel here, 275, 65, meaty sidewall there. Also, nice little air scarf. Take a look at this. So you have some exit passing here. That might be a good piece of paint to paint protection film if you get yours. Also, you have air scarf leading from the front, so there's good air management to reduce high pressure areas, which will help with range on the highway. Of course, we're not doing all that testing now. Door handles, let's do the door thunk test, shall we? Oh, that's a nice strong feeling door handle. Hold on, let me just gently close this. That's a good strong door handle. Let's try the thunk. Ready? Ooh, solid. That's really nice. Gear tunnel back here. Take a look at this. I just click this little button. This will pop out. And then I love this. This thing's beefy too. You can stand on that, put your roof racks on. So this is super, super strong. Like I'll just put my full weight on here, for example. It can hold me just fine. And that's a lot of weight that it has to hold right there. It's pretty insane. To close it, nice firm thunk. Love that. So let's take a look at the bed because it's a truck, so it's got to do truck things. There's two versions of Rivian. There's R1T and R1S. The R1S is the SUV version with a shorter wheelbase. I don't believe you're able to get the big battery in that one. This one has the mid-spec battery, 135 kilowatt hour. There will be in the future, I think, an even bigger battery that you can get. You have a whole bunch of cool stuff in here. Of course, you can mount accessories and stuff. If you actually go back, there's another video that we put up, a little squeaky on the tailgate, isn't it? We put up another video previously where we showed you a lot of the accessories and Rivian's event. We're actually at that same event just a day later, and I can show you some of that stuff. In terms of the tonneau cover, I don't think it's enabled, and we'll have to show you that when we get a production one, so not enabled. Take a look at the interior. Is that not gorgeous? Forgive some of our equipment in there, but I just love the ocean interior. 3 different interior themes you can go with. You can go with sort of a green interior. You can go with a forest green, that's that one. Then there's a black one, and then there's this one. I like this one. Let me jump in here. I have the truck just for visualization in like max ride height, but you can slam it when you get in and out. Super good. I'm sitting behind myself. This is a small truck. This is like a Tacoma. And look at all the knee room I have. Like, this is amazing. Like, just these little details, USB-C ports right here with a coat jacket holder, these great touch points, these little details. Everything seems so detail oriented, and I love that so much that it's like, wow, everything you touch, feel, and look at, someone went through and designed to give you a better experience than a normal car. And I really love that. Take a look at the interior here. Of course, this is the truck we'll be taking on the trail and driving. So it's in park right now, of course, with the lights on, but man, does that not just look gorgeous. Great UI system. This one's not on full final production software, so it does get over-the-air software updates, of course. We'll have to see how Rivian supports that. Jordan, did you show them the giant glass roof in this thing, by the way? Take a look at that. Just insane for a truck. That's the crazy part. And then I think we get to the craziest part, which is this car's value and pricing. This, like the way I spec'd out an R1S that I would really want was like, I want to say like 78 or 80 grand, which is literally half the price of the Taycan I wanted. And by the way, this thing will drift and has rally mode and like 4 independent motors. Crazy price, by the way, I don't know the starting, I want to say 60,000, 67.5 starting price, but it also qualifies for the federal tax credit. It also qualifies for Section 179 if you're a business owner. It just seems like so much truck for the money. It feels so premium, feels so nicely designed that like for the price, holy smokes. Now, when you compare it to Tacoma, it's a lot more money, but it's a lot more truck. In terms of motor and suspension design, super interesting. We have 4 independent hub motors on this vehicle. I don't know if they're hub motors. They're permanent magnet motors on each wheel, I should say. And that means you have total variable control. So for off-roading, you can really give the power to the correct wheel with a good algorithm. Now, we're not doing any crazy off-roading today, so we're gonna, of course, save that for when we can get the vehicles to Colorado. But I'm looking forward to seeing how powertrain feels at low speed, at high speed, at regen. All of that's going to be quite interesting. In terms of suspension, you have full air springs basically, so you can change the ride height. Huge breadth of capability from like slammed on the ground to here in almost full ride height. I think we're 1 step down from max. And then you have full damper control with hydraulics. So no sway bars on this vehicle, no steel components linking everything. You have a hydraulic damper that can basically infinitely control, you know, your sort of stability or, you know, in terms of roll stability on the road, and then also huge articulation levels off-road. McLaren uses this type of suspension setup to give you the best track performance. That's why McLarens also drive really comfortably on the road. This uses that same technology to not only drive comfortably on the road, but to give you a crazy, stiff, sporty ride when you turn it all up, and then to give you a pretty soft off-roading experience. So I'm looking forward to feeling that breadth of capability, if you will. And by the way, this is the key. Take a look at this. Is that not the coolest key ever? So you have your trunk up front, your rear bed, lock and unlock, and then you can lock things to this. It just feels nice. This is like the best fidget toy. Something I always do is I play around with my keys when I'm talking to people because I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm like Ricky Bobby. That's why in my thumbnails I'm always like this, because I don't know what to do with my hands. So here at least I can play around with the key and then my hands are doing something. Love that. This is so cool. Let's not waste any more time. We're gonna jump in with some of my friends. We're gonna go drive it around Rivian's designed off-road course. And I just wanna make a note and quick comment. everyone's like, when are we going to see like everyone just take the trucks out, do what they want with them? Rivian has had so many requests from media to review these trucks, and obviously they only have a few trucks to go around. They need to not only satisfy people who have put orders in for this vehicle, but also the people who want to review them. So I think in our case, we are just super appreciative of the access and the invite to come drive the Rivian today. Is it everything I want to do with the truck and, you know, go bring it to the track and bring it off-road and do our range testing? No. And so if you own a Rivian and would like us to do something with your vehicle, if you're an early owner, we'd love that. If Rivian can get us one early, or if we end up buying one and get it delivered, we'll do it then. We'll bring the coverage to you. So I'm sorry we can't do everything right now, but I have to say a huge thanks to Rivian and just for letting us come out here and film with this truck. Let's jump in, go for a ride. We are in the car now with my new friend Steve, Jordan, and of course Drew in the back. So R1T, you've been riding around in these things for a while. What do you think?
Oh, it's about the most versatile car I've ever driven. Super fast, super fun. You can do it. You can go anywhere you want.
That's
it feels
so
like
cool.
you can go from being off-road to being on-road to driving fast 5 seconds later.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the driving position, first off, I love the ocean interior in this car, super light feeling. I mean, I feel like I can sit kind of in the truck, which is nice. Normally when, you know, we're so lucky we get to review a lot of cars, when I drive a Tacoma or a Frontier or something in this sizing category, like I'm like sitting all the way up here.
Yeah.
But here is great, but I still have this nice, very Range Rover-esque view out the front. Can see all the corners really well. Almost no blind spots too. It's pretty amazing how big the mirrors are. Like everything feels great.
Yeah.
So to drive this thing, foot on the brake, we'll basically turn it on. I get a big ready sign here, into drive, doors locked, door handles pulled in.
Yep.
And we're ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go. If you want to pull out to the right, our flagger here is just making sure we have space, so he'll double check that we're on time. He may give us a red flag, but we'll go from there.
And what's the drive mode that we're in right now?
So right now we're in all-purpose mode. This is kind of your good all-purpose daily driving, snow, rain, all that sort of stuff. Gives you some good throttle response. It gives you some really good height for traction, all those sorts of things.
Okay.
We will play around in some off-road. We'll demonstrate all that stuff. You're good. You can just actually follow up to the right here.
Cool. Yeah, throttle pedal in all-purpose and, you know, standard ride height. So we have the ride in stiff right now. Would I be able to back that down to soft really quick?
Go ahead, try it.
Just to see. So it has the hydraulic dampers, which are really cool. So huge range of adjustability. Pretty long throttle pedal travel, actually. So you can really modulate at low speed. Do you mind if I'm just going to try some low speed stuff since we're here. So off the throttle with regen in standard, coming to a stop, 0 miles an hour, and it holds on motor torque right now.
Yeah.
And then the brake pedal's firm. It actually, I think, transitioned to brake hold there.
Yep.
There's high regen as well, which let's just try that. I know we're going uphill, but let's just see how this feels at low speed. Pretty good, really good regen.
Yeah.
And then comes to 0, we're stopped, and then goes to auto hold. Oh, that's really good low speed. If I tip in just to see how it feels, 0 motor cogging. That's crazy smooth. Whoa, the low speed's nice on this thing.
Yeah.
So let's rock and roll up this way. So I guess roughly, I know this is like a really hardcore designed event. So how can we drive? Can we kind of do some fun things, or we have to stay somewhat
So
reasonable?
what we'll do is we have to stay somewhat reasonable. We can have some fun.
Cool.
So there is speed limit signs we'll call out. It's 30 miles an hour through here.
Okay.
Most of it's because there is some traffic. We have other cars on the course. But as you can go up here, you can go up to 30, 35 on this dirt road. Cool. This is an all-purpose mode, so you can kind of feel what it feels.
Yeah, riding soft, probably how I would drive it.
And that play you said you had in the accelerator, that really helps with, some people are really concerned with the regenerative braking and having a smooth ride, especially first-time EV drivers. So you can notice you can really lighten it up and not feel the regen as much. So it's not
I'm going to go full regen, by the way. So here we go. Huge amount of regen.
Yeah.
Whoa. And you can really feel like this thing just dig in, and it comes to a stop so smoothly. I want to try that on a downhill section as well.
We have a downhill right here, actually. So if you want to go up to we'll just kind of ride the right lane down.
Yeah.
We have a pretty good downhill here.
Cool. So we'll go over this way towards the right lane.
Yep.
Here we go. And so yeah, we're downhill. Let's try the regen down. Regen in high. Motors are holding us back. This is a pretty steep downhill.
Yeah.
All the way down to 0. That is the smoothest one pedal drive. What would you say, Drew?
That felt just as smooth as anything I've ever experienced.
That's smoother than a Tesla because it doesn't even come in with the brakes at the end. I'm just gonna use some friction brakes here really quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we should probably keep moving a little bit now, just because there is cars coming behind us. But,
yeah, we can.
Feel free to.
Yeah, we'll just kind of roll into it and then keep going. So yeah, pretty compliant brake pedal, I would say, and yeah, felt good there. Not too much time to spend with it, and but yeah, wow.
You can go up to 45 or so here if you want to test some of the acceleration and feel.
Feels pretty good. I mean, it's a solid drivetrain, which is really impressive to me. I was kind of expecting it to be not as rock solid as this thing really is.
Let's go up to this dirt road to the right here.
Sure,
you can take this about 20 miles per hour. We're still in our all-purpose mode, so this is light off-roading, but
yeah, it's a
trail.
Yeah,
but you can go to the right here, and you can see what it feels like. We'll flip it into off-road mode in a second here, but just give you a feel for what it's like.
Yeah, I mean, it soaks up the bumps pretty good there. Those harsh impacts you really do feel here, and I think maybe it's just early production, but some of it doesn't feel so cohesive. Like I'm sure like a not ragged on car would feel maybe a little bit tighter, but overall, I mean, it's just so cool, isn't it? Right size.
Go to the right here,
yeah, the right size vehicle for sure. And we'll stay up to the right this way.
Yep, and then keep going straight this time.
Cool, can do.
And I'm gonna switch our stop off-road.
Cool.
You want to go under 20 miles per hour.
Right, that lets you switch under 20, right?
Yep. And then if you go ahead and keep your foot on the accelerator, you can feel the accelerator change.
Yeah, just the throttle mapping change there. So now it's a really long throttle pedal travel.
And you just kind of follow us around. Our speed limit through here is about 15 to 20.
Sure. Yeah, we'll just kind of keep it.
Yep.
Speed limit is over there on the right side. So when I actually have some left lock on the wheel, I couldn't see how fast I was going there. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, so we'll just cruise along. Yeah, it's quiet. The motors are really quiet. The loudest thing here is the air-conditioned seat. Could we actually turn that off?
Yeah.
So is it that one there?
This one here.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm sorry.
Cool. Yeah, no worries.
Always. Yeah, and you just keep following this around, and you can speed up a little bit up to about 25 here if you'd like.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I can't wait till we get this out on some trails and rock it up, and then of course see how it does on some high-speed stuff. Driving it like this is nice. I'm just impressed with that regen rolling into it. It's a really good throttle calibration, I would say. And yeah, steering feels nice. Steering wheel is actually a pretty small steering wheel. I like it with a small flat bottom here. Not sure I would have made that decision, but I think it's perfectly sized for the truck.
So if you slow down, we'll go up this uphill at about 10 miles per hour. You can keep it, you know, even. You'll feel the throttle response on this one.
Yeah, within off-road we have different acceleration, or I should say just totally different drivetrain modes, which would be, you know, rock crawl, rally, and drift, but we're in auto, so it's kind of sensing the terrain and walking itself up.
Yeah. Oh, and then turn this on. Sorry, I was going to turn it on.
No, you're good.
So you can go
full cameras here.
Yep. Full cameras, and then for this you can once you creep over the edge, the regen does a really nice job of taking you down this as well.
Cool. Yeah, so strong regen at low speed would indicate permanent magnet motor, so I believe that's what they are, and that's pretty awesome. Like, that's crazy strong regen. I wonder if it's doing, do you know if it's doing friction brake blending at this low of speed?
I do not know that.
Yeah, no. I'd be curious.
Yeah.
We can play around more later on when we get to spend time, but it's nice. We have good wheel cameras here. It's a pretty good front camera, I'd say. Just very helpful, especially when you have those big overcrests where you can't see.
It's nice you do them on the wheels as well, so you can see that forward facing, and you can turn them to back if you'd like to for any reason.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. And then of course we have some ruts here, so we'll let the car figure out its path. Yeah, I mean, it's just heavy, competent, goes down really nicely. You know, I'd say the suspension feels, so we're in standard ride height right now.
We're in our off-road.
So we're actually in high. So I would say for being in a high suspension ride height, it rides pretty smooth considering. Yeah. And that's probably one of those benefits of having that hydraulic damper control. Because when you put a Range Rover, for example, in high, or a Defender with adjustable air suspension, they get real firm actually. And so this is quite nice. I would say right on par with a Range Rover in high, in my impression right now. Feels nice.
And you just kind of come up to the right here.
Cool.
And you can do about 20, 25 through here as well if you want to feel it a little.
It's actually kind of nice to drive it at low speed too. It just feels so solid.
Yeah.
From a low speed calibration. You can hear the motors a little bit more at speed. I'd be really curious to get this up, you know, of course, on the highway.
We'll do that in a minute.
Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah.
Well,
looking
not the
forward to it.
highway, but
Yeah,
we'll let you test the acceleration on the road.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, it just feels so great in terms of steering ratio and throttle calibration. I'm very impressed so far. So what's the next obstacle we're gonna hit?
So the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna switch us back to our all-purpose mode.
Yep. So I gotta go under 20 for that, right?
You can actually, this one you can go right around.
So
20.
off-road mode, you have to be under 20 to get into.
To get into off-road
To get
mode.
out of it any speed.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And now we're going down to standard ride
Standard height.
suspension in soft,
Yeah.
and then brake regen will just, you know, high all the time. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You
Cool.
always keep going straight. You can kind of follow around here.
Cool. Can we kind of rip it a little bit around here?
Probably there's a stop sign down here. So once we
Okay.
get through there, there's a little
Nice.
oncoming traffic. We'll go down this hill, make a U-turn so you can test
And then
that.
we'll rip
and
it
then
all
we'll
the way
rip
up.
it up the hill.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. We can do that. Yeah, that is literally a stop sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I don't think anyone's.
No, they're good. You can
Okay.
proceed.
Cool. Great.
And you can test it a little bit here. There's just a little bit of oncoming traffic, but not much. And we have the
That's all right.
cones around.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. What I'm really curious is like just kind of cruising along here and then lifting off. It's just, so at high speed, the regen isn't actually that strong, but it increases as you slow down. So you can feel, right, Drew? Wouldn't you say it's increasing in deceleration force as we slow down? Not anymore.
I'm feeling it right now. Yeah.
So it actually shows regen braking reduced, which could indicate cold battery pack or
Yeah.
high state of charge.
Yeah.
Right, so it probably doesn't like to charge that much when you're above 70 on pre-production. I'm sure that'll adjust.
Yeah, the low speed regen feels very strong.
Turning radius test. Pretty good.
So maybe you do is just pull up to that stop sign. It's just
Okay.
going to give us an all clear once we're clear, but you can pull up to it. This is where we'll text the 0 to 60. So
Sure.
get it to hold mode, and then
Yep.
whenever you're ready.
Is
we'll
there
go.
a specific launch mode or sport mode that we could use?
We can go into our sport mode.
Cool. Yeah, let's do that. So that'll drop us a layer here.
Yep. What's that?
You should give these guys a proper launch.
That's what I was going to do.
Thanks, appreciate that.
So
Yeah.
what I was going to, we're not doing this for regular customers.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So what you do is you can, with your left foot, you can actually
Yep.
bury your foot on the brake.
And then map the throttle.
Yep.
And then we'll go into like a full launch mode situation.
It's not what we call launch, but it's doing
Okay.
essentially what we will have in a launch mode that comes in the future. It's a quicker 0 to 60. So we're not calling it launch.
So there's no
'cause there will-
visual display of this mode then?
No.
Okay,
There
cool.
will be a launch mode in the future. It's just not part of it yet. Yeah.
Got it. So let me just get the weight off now that we've lowered really quick. So we'll go full brake to the floor, which I can feel the end of the brake pedal,
Yep.
matting the throttle.
Yep. And then whenever you're ready.
All right, let's rock and roll, shall we? Strong. Really strong performance. 45, it gives you everything. That's really strong performance. That's great. Especially uphill, of course. I mean, for being, like, do you know the weight of this thing? It's got to be heavy.
Yeah, it's I can't remember what time it is. Oh, it's over 6,000.
6,000 pounds, and it launches like that, and that's not even like they're not designed for that kind of stuff, and that's pretty good. What was your impression from the back seat?
Threw my head back.
Yeah.
Yeah, felt like a pretty hard launch. You know, not much like blending in.
I won't go fast. I'm just going to stand on it just for a half a second.
No, I was going to say,
yeah.
what we honestly do from here is like a 30 to 60.
Okay,
So
cool.
that's another good indication.
Yeah.
Probably a little more real life daily driving of what a freeway entrance ramp's like.
Yeah, so when you mat the throttle, it's not instant. It ramps up. So it's not like a slam and go. It's like it takes a half a second to build up, but it feels good because things are working. So I really like that quite a bit.
And
Yeah.
you can keep testing the accelerator.
Yeah,
We
cool.
will take this right up here over the hill. So
Yeah.
that's
So
where we'll
you want us to like shred it through here in sport
Yeah.
mode? Like we certainly can.
You can feel like the difference in stiffness stuff.
Yeah.
We
The
are
ride
gonna take
height
this
really.
right. So.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. You want to go full right here or just up this
No,
way?
up this through these.
Cool.
through
So
these
now,
elements.
yeah, I mean the ride comfort is a night and day. Look at this. Crazy rough now because we got it in full sporty sport mode.
Yep.
So we're gonna go all purpose. Fans kicked on.
Yep.
So I wonder how the thermal management is. We'll have to try that out. So we have soft ride height, ride comfort, standard ride height, and high regen as usual. And here we go. Yeah, I mean, acceleration's really good for this type of vehicle, I would say. You don't need any more. And we'll continue off down
Yep,
this
just
way.
on the right.
Cool. And then this is where we can put it in drift mode and we'll send it, right? Yeah.
I wish. Yeah.
Yeah. It won't be long before we can do that, I'm sure.
Yeah, you'll have some time for it, I'm sure.
Can't wait to really showcase its capabilities. Do you mind if I just do a quick brake test?
Yeah, you're good here.
Okay, everyone holding on? Yeah, so I can feel really good ABS in the brake pedal. So it's really strong ABS, just like pulsating in the brakes. That's awesome. Good brake feel. Pedal's soft though. It's a little ID4-like, but it's effective, of course. So it's just really, really boosted. That's cool. Well, we're kind of nearing the end of our Rivian R1T first experience. Steve, thank you so much for taking us on this drive.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Yeah, and thanks to Rivian, of course, for letting us do this. It's very difficult at this time, you know, just to prioritize different media to get behind the wheels. Everyone wants a drive, so we're really lucky that we got an early opportunity to drive the truck. I know you all will have a million questions about its charging and range and efficiency, and we'll certainly you know, get to that when we get to spend more time with one. And overall, gotta say, pretty impressed here. Feels nice and holistic. We drive a lot of new electric cars as soon as they launch, for example, and especially a pre-production unit, sometimes they don't really feel fully baked. And this is definitely one of the better, if not the best, sort of pre-production feeling vehicles in terms of holistic stuff. I mean, there's small optimizations, like this may not have the newest UI, speediness on there, but from a hardware perspective, it seems really solid, and I think that's what matters most. So thanks for watching another Out of Spec Reviews video, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. And we're about to go down this super muddy hill, so let's do it. We have it in off-road mode with high suspension, not even the highest. We're just gonna creep over this hill. We're gonna ride the ruts all the way down. So let's see how we do. We've got the front camera helping out, and down we go. Super cool to watch this thing just go down the road. Look at that. Like nothing. You can really take this down some crazy terrain.